Hello. There was something eerie about the silence before I turn on the music. Something a little strange. Why am I sitting so low? Why am I so small? Wait, it's not even my... Did I just shrink? I'm just small. I'm just a small guy. Alright. Hello, everyone. We are live. It's kind of crazy how every streamer says that. I don't know why. There's these certain mannerisms. I think you pick them up from other people you see. Where you're like, oh yeah, we're live, is what you say at the beginning of a stream. Where at the end of the stream you're like, I don't know. You know, when I did my first take care and bye, I was like, why am I saying take care? Where are you going? Where do you need to pay attention? My viewers are endangering themselves. I need to give them advice so they don't get scared. It's funny, I look over and it looks like I'm reading chat, but it's actually just me looking at my face cam. I need to see whether people like me. Alright, I think... Oh, we'll just wait a little bit. Ah, what a good song. What a good song. Grrr, Nico is angry. What? Nico is pissed. Wait, it's like face orange frowning, yeah. God damn it, dude. Face orange frowning. I can't see them the same since they said all those slurs about all those minorities, you know, and like glorifying all those horrible people. I just can't respect face orange frowning anymore. I think face orange frowning needs to be cancelled. I'm not much of a cancellation guy, but there's just some lines you can't cross. there's some things you can't do. Well, anyways, as you can see in the title today. I don't even think there's much of a point in postponing this. We are trying to defeat Mount Celeste, figuratively, without suffering a single setback. Which is actually how you should tackle everything in life. Because really, if you're facing setbacks in life, then... what's the point of even trying? Like, I mean, you're trying to get up this mountain, and then you have like a roadblock or an obstacle. You gotta just give up. It's like when you're learning a skill in real life, you know? You fuck something up, gotta immediately drop that. Only do things I'm instantly good at. I just noticed my controller isn't connected. I need to quickly fix that. Just wait, where is my controller? I don't have a controller? I'm demented. Is this my controller? No. I just spoke like I was like a wizard, you know? A wizard? I mean a magician. Is this your controller? Alright. I'll need to connect that. I need to connect that thing real quick. Okay, I forgot I removed the cable. Give me a second. Alright, my stream probably like... Wait, my stream should be back now, right? I'm back. I'm back? Wait. Wait. I am back, right? No, god damn it. That's so annoying. Just give me a second. Everything's kind of like falling apart. My life's falling apart. Really, I'm shattered. I'm in pieces. I should ping my Discord back. At everyone. Streams back online. Yeah, no, sorry about that. I couldn't find the right hole. Okay, so I'm playing a game right now, so I'll come right back. Alright. No, I was trying to find the right hole, but I couldn't. At least you got to enjoy this beautiful music. Actually, you didn't, because my stream went online, didn't it? You know, while I was trying to set up everything, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, at least they can enjoy the... Something about these seems incorrect. I don't think my webcam is supposed to be like this. Let's move me over to the right a bit. This seems weird, wait. This is better? Kind of? Maybe? Probably. This is fine. No, I actually should point down a little bit more. I try my dangest, you know. I'm not a professional streamer yet. I've never streamed before. But I also need to display Celeste. That would be a good idea. It's not the Binding of Isaac. It's Celeste. Oh, it doesn't capture it because I don't have the game open. Wait, this fixes it? I'm sorry, this is taking a long time to set up. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Just give me 1 second then. Alright. You literally took 4 million attempts to do Chapter 1 Golden. Well then, you'll definitely enjoy me doing this and putting you to shame. Now let's see if we can do well. Let's see if we can do well. I believe we can do well. This is it, Madeline. You're getting skipped. Fuck you, Madeline. This is it, Madeline. It's time to meet your maker. That's really funny. It's time to meet your maker. Time for God to fucking kill you. Alright. This was definitely suboptimal, but we're not about to save seconds when one minor mistake can set us back like 20 minutes. Well, if it happens far into a run. Like if I die in Chapter 1, a small mistake can set me back like 2 minutes. Alright. I will note that I have not played this game in a little while. That being... actually, it's not that long ago that I played this game, so... I really can't say anything. I was playing on keyboard, which is... Honestly, if... There's people who claim playing Celeste on keyboard is the only correct way, and they're delusional. They're delulu. That's what I call them. Yeah. Delulu is short for delusional, by the way, for anyone who just joined the stream. You know, it's just a little bit of slang I use. It might be a bit loud. I didn't think about that. Let's fix that, actually. Let's make sure it's not too loud. Because I did make the... Yes, I made the game much louder. I had it on like 3 before. Alright, this should be better. You should actually be able to hear me, guys. Guys? I'm saying guys because I know my demographics. That's an informed streamer. Okay. This is probably bad. Nah, it's fine. I'm just goated with the sauce, honestly. I was never scared to begin with, honestly. And honestly, I'm just being so honest right now. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. You know, a smaller person than me, a lesser person would say, oh, it's fine. We died in Chapter 1. Let's just restart Chapter instead of doing the whole prologue again. But what I'm saying is I want the fucking title screen to say 0. So, yeah, so that's that. Wait, is my stream even still there? It's funny, I had like 4 people come in instantly, you know. 0 after the stream went offline. I guess that's my own fault for unplugging my LAN cable on accident. Okay, I didn't unplug it on purpose. It was destiny. I never had a chance to begin with. Yeah, but no. It's very interesting. I made a big mistake. I watched a video about loneliness before I went live. But not the greatest idea. Though I am in pretty good headspace right now. I know some people are terrified of what's to come. It's still September. It's still the part of fall where everyone's kind of happy. But, you know, once we're approaching, like, end of October, it gets pretty bad for some people. It's really strange, you know. I call those people sunflowers. They get sad when it gets rainy. I don't call them that, but... There's, like, some people who genuinely just get sad when it rains, which I find very interesting. Like, what the fuck are you? Are you... What even gets sad when it rains? Except for a sunflower. Like a cat? I guess the cats wouldn't like the rain. Cats are fucked up little gremlins. And dogs are beasts from hell, so it's not much better. Wait, is my mic muted? That is possible. I might have accidentally unplugged my mic. It's cool how all these things just happen when I'm back. I never know. Though the thought of someone coming into the stream, hearing the game audio and seeing me talk in the webcam without anything coming out, not like going in the chat and saying, "Oh, dude, your mic might be muted." All right, let's check it out. Just to be sure. Oh no, it's definitely fine. All right, we're good. That's good. That's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Chapter complete. That's chapter 1 done. That's the day. That's the record for the day. Is that the Mr. Man of the Funnies? Yes, Large Mouse, it is indeed. Welcome home. Welcome home. It's been a while. It's been a while since I streamed. But that was because I was on a trip. I visited the wonderful country of the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Switzerland. Yeah, that's kind of it. I spent most of my time in France. Unfortunately, it wasn't intentional. I was kind of forced to spend my time in France, but I met a lot of interesting characters there. I think these stories are probably gonna get repeated a lot over the years because I met some people. They were just strange. They were just strange. So I went to Paris on one day. Damn, I went to the Netherlands and didn't tell me SMH my head. And I just visited Amsterdam for like 2 days. Actually, I visited Zaandam next to Amsterdam. I didn't go... Well, I went to Amsterdam from there, but that's not what I was sleeping. Now, I imagine you're probably from some random town. It probably ends with Dom. Zaandam, more like Zandam. So true. So true. Amsterdam. I will say, beautiful city. I've never been, actually, so I was very surprised that it has definitely managed to get into my top 3 cities in all of Europe. Much better than Paris, I will be honest. Brussels is also, like, fine. In the grand scheme of, like, capital cities, I don't know. Though they did clean up Paris because of the Olympics, so... I heard from a lot of my friends that there were, like, a bunch of homeless people sleeping on the ground everywhere, and the streets were, like, genuinely just full of dirt and dust. So at least I didn't experience that. Only been there, like, 3 times, you think? That's crazy. Ah, that's actually not crazy. I've only been to Berlin, like, twice. The first few attempts don't count. I'm still warming up. I'm still warming up, guys. Guys, I'm still warming up. Guys, I'm like still warming up, guys. Ouch. Ouch. Also, my funniest experience was in Paris. I didn't want to buy a metro ticket. I wanted to see the city, so I just walked everywhere. And when I looked at the end of the day, it says I walked like 50,000 steps. And I think what's funniest about that... Why might even say yowza? Yowza, bowza. No, but I think what's funniest about the 50,000 steps is that I used the Pikmin Bloom app to track my steps. And I got the incredible message where it's like, you took 200,000 steps this week. That's 175,000 more steps than last week. That's so funny to me. I don't know why. 170,000 steps more than last week. What I'm more scared of is the fact that this week it's gonna tell me, you took 40,000 steps this week. That's 160,000 steps less than last week. I think the reverse is honestly much funnier. Yeah, I sure did walk a lot, because walking is a free activity. I went to a bunch of modern art museums. I compared all of the modern art museums in the biggest cities in Europe. I pitted them up against each other. Honestly, I should make a tier list at this point. That sounds fun. Modern art museums in European capital cities tier list. Sir Walk-a-Lot. Yes. Alright. Well, anyways, I had a huge trip, big trip, 2 weeks, and now I'm back home and I'm bored and I'm feeling a little bit. I don't know why my mind wanted to say I'm feeling a little bit zesty, but that doesn't really make sense. I'm not exactly feeling zesty. No, I'm feeling a bit talkative. I think that would be the correct way to say it. Yeah. Don't say Freudian slip. I don't want to think of Sigmund Freud's slip. Zestimator? Oh no, not my not my homosexual alter ego. Well, one thing, I met a lot of interesting people. And I'm gonna tell one of the stories today. I'm probably gonna tell the other ones maybe another time. So I was like staying in this hostel in Amsterdam, and I was just trying to get breakfast. I was really lazy, so I just ate a bunch of croissants with instant coffee. You know, the Click Classic. And there was this guy. He looked a lot like Jeremy Fragrance. I'll be honest. He looked a lot like Jeremy Fragrance. And he just started talking to me, which, you know, it's fun. It's fun to talk to people, especially when you know you'll never see them again. I was like leaving that same day. And he goes to me, you know, usually I talk a lot. I try to talk a lot more with the people I talk to here, but I'm very busy today. I need to get my phone fixed. And I tell him, "Well, what's broken with your phone?" He says, "They hacked me. They took everything. They got all my accounts. They hacked me." And I'm like, who are they, and why are they hacking you? So he answers one part of the question. He's like, "Oh yeah, I work at this like medical thing that like helps minorities or something, and big companies are trying to go after him or something." He seems a little bit crazy. And basically, I ask him, "Who are these people that are hacking you?" And he's like, "I have a lot of adversaries in my phone." Which is an incredibly funny thing to say. I have a lot of adversaries in my phone. Yeah, so anyways, he shows me his like government distributed credit card. He apparently got like a credit card from the government specifically so he can pay for things without being tracked because his other cards kept getting like hacked. Which kind of makes me think that he's like actually legitimately being followed by people. Oh. Yeah, anyways, I never saw that man again, but I hope he got his phone fixed. Yeah. Well, anyways, goodbye, Large Mouse. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Pro tip, don't die. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. I mean, I've done chapter 2 without dying now. That's like 1/4 of the game. I'm in like 25% through. See, it only took 4 minutes or 5 minutes. We're gonna be done with this in 20 minutes. Beat the gaming. Better than beating women. It is though. Better to beat the video game. Oh man, I'm unhinged today. You got it. All right, have a nice night. Large mouse, large rodent. And welcome home, Zaf Gaming. Yeah, so like I feel like I can get through the first 2 chapters consistently. Chapter 3 is when I get to like a 50% success rate. And chapter 4 I've only reached 3 times and beaten once, so I guess it's like a 1/3 rate. But I don't feel like you can really accurately model probabilities like this from such a small set of data. You definitely need a larger data set. I definitely need to get good. I want to take this opportunity to tell you to not like the stream and in fact not support my channel. Yep. Just, you're good. Don't need to do anything. I think it's really funny that you can leave comments on a stream. You can, okay, I don't think you can leave the comments while the stream is going. I'm not sure about that. But you can definitely leave comments on a VOD, which will always be funny to me, because there's like, whenever I watch a VOD of anything, which is really rarely, I always just read through the comments, and then I try to rationalize myself. Who are the types of people to leave comments under VODs? The streamer's probably never gonna see those. Like, he might check the comments on his newest video, but the only comments he checks on a stream are the ones that come in live. Though I do have notifications on for my YouTube channel, so I get a notification every time someone comments on any of my channels. Which is really funny for the ASMR channel, which, if you didn't know, I started an ASMR channel as a joke where I play Isaac and whisper my commentary. And for some reason, everyone loves that. Like, people genuinely love the content. They tell me I've changed their life. I've had people tell me, yeah, I watched this after my birthday. What a wonderful end to my day. Which is just such a compliment. Which is why it's funny to have notifications on for that. And I'm just looking at it. I'm just chilling during my day. My phone rings and it's like, oh yeah, when are you finally coming back to make more ASMR videos? I don't have the heart to tell them that, I don't know, whenever I'm bored. I think it's really funny that YouTube does not let you hide your view count while you're streaming. Like, you just have to close the window with your stream. So I can just see the viewers dropping live while I tell a story. I feel like that would really mess with your brain when you've got like 6,000 people watching you. And you, like, the numbers actually dipping makes a difference, makes a meaningful difference when it's not like individual people. Because right now, this is a stream on a channel that hasn't done anything in like a month. So I'm not expecting much. But yeah. This run is pretty good though. I got getting all the way to books and huge mess. Oh fuck. Usually when I talk about how good the run is, I fail instantly. So it was good that I survived that room. I feel like there's a subset of people that say room instead of room. I wonder why. Is it like British? Is it a British thing? Though I do feel like British people, they do talk about rooms rather than rooms. Oh yeah. I would try to book a room for the two of us. Oh, stop making out in public. Get a room, you two. No, I feel like there's even American people that say room. Or like Canadian? Maybe it's a Canadian thing. Canada. I wasn't paying attention. The fact that I did it in this room is upsetting because it's like really easy. I can definitely do it instantly right now. It's really easy. So time to try again. I mean, the strategy is just to not get emotionally attached to any given run, because you're just gonna end up being disappointed. Though I guess the one thing that's unfortunate about streaming this on YouTube is the fact that there's no channel predictions. Because it would be really funny to run like a prediction. Does this run get to chapter 4 or something? Keep going, we believe in you. Alright, thank you, the guy with something. That's very encouraging. Welcome home also. Alright. No, I definitely think I can do it eventually. I mean, I've beaten all these chapters with the Golden Berry individually. So it's not like I'm doing anything I've never done before. I've also gotten to chapter 5, really far into it. I mean, you can check the description for my record. It's like the second crystal room in chapter 5. Which is really far into the level. That's in the mirror already. But yeah. I mean, chapter 1 is just a formality. It's crazy how good I've gotten at this level. I know the ins and outs of it. Also, I'd get this berry every time. Not every time. But you know, Recently I was just thinking about how good this video game is. I was just reminded. I watched like a video that analyzed some music from it. And then I got kind of disappointed because I don't feel like any other video game, even if it's made by the same studio, will ever live up to this one. I just can't imagine. Like, what did they call it? It's like Heartbound or something? The new game? Oh, it's Earthblade, yeah. You think it took about this long just to clear the just to clear the opening level? Wow, I'm really carrying this berry for a long time. I feel like I never do this. Okay. I feel like I almost carried the full 9 months there. That's such a stupid joke. I should probably close my window. There's like people outside listening to what I have to say. It's not winter yet, because in winter you can really just like have the window open and scream. Because everyone else got their windows closed. No one's outside. But I know it's still fall. I love fall though. Definitely the best season in my opinion. You know, it's definitely the middle ground of seasons. It's definitely a little bit of a cop-out, you know? There's the summer believers and the winter heads. Which is just it's two extremes, you know? I think it depends. People always want me to pick between two options, man. I don't know. I think it depends. No, I do feel like autumn definitely has the best vibes out of any season. You can I don't know how to perfectly describe this, but there's a certain addiction to feeling melancholic and sad when you're depressed. And I feel as though fall gives you an outlet to fulfill those kinds of emotions without actually damaging your mental health. Maybe that makes sense to someone. I've heard one person ever understand what I mean by this. But that was that was incredible. Man, what a good video game. What a good level. The music is nice, but what I never understood, what I always found really funny, is how this song, like Resurrections, it's so long. And it's so intricately designed when usually you barely ever hear it. The section before the boss fight is so short. I mean, this level is just really short in general, to be honest. But I don't know. I just wanted to say something. I didn't want it to be quiet. That's the streamer brain in you. I think that's funny. My friends kind of picked up on that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, when you're talking to people, ever since you started streaming, you really don't let silence go through. You're always like kind of talking about something," which I definitely feel like that's a switch that flipped in me. Maybe it would be hotter if I would be more attracted if I seemed more jaded and quiet. It's not true. You should always try to be open. Hi, welcome home. Wait, it's Mycromator. Wait. Yeah, it's Mycromator. I tried my best. I'm playing on the side. I'm playing a video game right now. Though usually I'm really good at reading username stuff. I don't know why that one tripped me up so much. Maybe it's because it doesn't have a clear linguistic origin. You know, when a name looks French or it looks like English clearly, I think I can decipher it. But for some reason, I wanted to read your name as French, which that just doesn't work. Mycromator. Okay, so I started talking about my trip through Europe last week. One thing that was really funny is when I was in Belgium, and even in France, I've genuinely felt treated differently because I spoke to people in French. I got like discounts in multiple places because I spoke French. Oh, Bernie Terror. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that's why I couldn't get it. That's fair. Yeah, but I genuinely got treated differently because I was able to speak like basic French that I learned in from 6th to 10th grade. I guess Americans would call that high school. I always found it weird to call it high school because in Germany it's not a different school. Like middle school and high school are kind of like the same. I mean, they're the same building. Even got the same classes. But, you know, Americans be dominating culturally. Oh my god! That scared the shit out of me. Okay, well, I'm good though. I'm good though. I'm thinking about something really funny. Where if you put on a huge stream delay onto the stream, then I could get people hyped up. And they would like pop off. I'd be like, this is such a good run. Everyone believe in me. Everyone spam the chat with great messages. And then I die, but the chat doesn't know yet. So the chat is just filled with supportive messages after I like lose a good run. That seems really funny to me. I think this attempt will make it out chapter 3. Or at least I'll get to the Oshiro fight. It'll definitely get out of huge mess. I feel like this is the first level I actually subcategorize into sections. It's kind of like the intro part. It always feels very liminal to me. I do it so routinely. In huge mess I always have to re-coordinate myself. I always have to regroup a little. Alright. What's up, big man? Actually, he's not much of a big man. It's actually fairly short. Short kings. I'm not too tall either. I think my webcam isn't helping me today because it is... I have so much space above my head. You really cannot accurately judge how tall I am. I gotta keep that plausible deniability. And when someone asks me how tall I am, I need to use some obscure measurement that no one understands. 0.43 farthings. It really is great that most of the world managed to agree on one system of measurements. It's so convenient. I can't imagine going to a different part of your same country and they just use completely different measurements. It seems very unhelpful and difficult to work around. Okay, so I got the first button pressed down. That I just absolutely smashed that button. Just absolutely killed it. Destroyed it and its family and friends. Alright. Honestly, you know what you should do? You should smash that button as well. You know, that like button. Absolutely smash it and its family and its friends. I'm gonna delete my channel. Not during that monologue. Come on, not during the monologue. Not during the funny YouTuber voice. The funny YouTuber voice is supposed to help me lock in. But man, this time it's really gonna be it. It's really funny. I see the view count rise before I die. I know damn well that shit's going back down. No deaths? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, when I die, I delete the save file. I guess it did just see me die, but, you know. I feel like restarting the stream every single time I die seems a little bit excessive. Yeah, there, I called it. People get really hyped when you're on a good run, and then when you die, it can leave such a void. So me as a live streamer, I have the responsibility of trying to encourage people. I need to stay positive and not. I mean, staying positive is just really good for this channel in general. This challenge, I mean, because if you're tilted, you're not gonna beat it. You need to be in a. What was that? That was not a wave dash. That was like, Madeline was crouching and flying through the air. That was a bit strange. That looked like a long jump. Madeline was doing long jump. Man, long jump as an Olympic sport is really interesting to me. That's the only one of the jumping ones that really interested me ever. I feel like that one's that's one of the Olympic ones that genuinely feels like a useful skill to have. When in reality, in real life, you're never really gonna need to long jump. But sometimes you gotta think about it. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking over to the other side of like a river or a small stream, and I think to myself, could I jump that? I just imagine like an Olympic jumper. He's like, yeah, I could jump that. He just crosses like a chasm. Grand Canyon jump between the plateaus. Mario-esque. I also think long jump in the Olympic Games is such an interesting one because it's one you can do yourself. When you watch figure skating, you know, when you watch pole vaulting, you know damn well that you ain't doing that. Pole vaulting? No, no way. That's such a crazy skill set. I really wonder how people get into these kinds of things though. Because they usually start training when they're just like 8 or something. You gotta start training early for these things in order to become the best in the world. And what I just wonder is who at 9 years old knows that they're gonna love doing javelin throw or pole vaulting. Is their school just like really weird and says, oh yeah, we let our middle schoolers do javelin throw? Wave dashing should become an Olympic sport too. Yeah. Also at the IRL BLJ. I mean, the Olympic Committee voted officially to open up an esports Olympic Games. They want to have an esports Olympics. So maybe wave dashing will become an Olympic sport at some point. Just Celeste speedrun races in the Olympics. There's just like a bunch of boomers watching this. A boomer watching Celeste D-Sides losing his mind. I will say D-Sides, not a very good mod. You can tell it's one of the earlier ones. There's a lot of great mods for Celeste. It's incredible, especially all the collabs. Wait, all right, perfect, 100%. Yeah, knowing you like javelin throw. Wait, I gotta read it after this room. This room's really hard. I gotta kind of lock in for this one. This is like a skill check. You know when I play. Okay, so sometimes when I'm with friends that I know really well, I let them play this game while I watch and like kind of guide them through it. There's like a few rooms where I know the developers knew they were really hard. They're like skill check rooms. You know, oh, you learn everything else in the level. Now prove it. You know you like javelin throwing or even discovering that sport is so narrow. Yeah, I know. It's like, how do you even know that you're good at that? My heart rate in this level always rises up. And that's what it's trying to do. That they designed the music that way. They try to make you anxious. Though it's definitely not the most anxiety-inducing song in the game. I think, honestly, the song Anxiety, not nearly as good at inducing anxiety as Star Jump. Star Jump is like the craziest song in the entire soundtrack. I mean, from a design perspective here. Yeah. Because I feel like there's a big discussion on what the best song in the game is. And honestly, I might just have to say, if you summarize Quiet and Falling, like the Chapter 5 track, together with In the Mirror, the second half of Chapter 5, if you summarize those into one track, I think that might be my favorite in the game. Just because it fits a vibe that I don't think anything else I've ever heard quite suits. I can't describe it. It gives me a feeling that I've never been able to get from anything else, which is why I really like it. But yeah. Sort of is so peak. Yeah. And it's fitting because it plays when you're close to the peak. Hola, ¿cómo está? Wait. Hola, ¿cómo tú ta? I don't speak Spanish, I think that is. Fuck, wrong language. Yeah. Sorry, I only speak German, French, English, one other secret mystery language that I'm not going to reveal at this point in time. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I will let people know my fourth secret mystery language. But that was not as fun to speak, in my opinion. Svenska? I wish I spoke Swedish. Dude, Sweden's such a great country. I visit like every year. Sweden definitely an S tier country. It's your native language. Spanish? Are we talking original Spanish, traditional Spanish, or a Spanish simplified? I know it's not called Spanish simplified. It's like Spanish without the lisp. South American Spanish. I said Portuguese. Sorry, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I know one of my friends speaks Portuguese. Though he speaks spicy Portuguese. Not the original one. He speaks the one that's in beta, not the one that's in early access. Like from Brazil. I know a guy from Brazil. I went to school with him here in Germany. He said he really wanted to be a doctor. Like he really, really wanted to be a doctor. But he really just didn't cut it from the grades perspective. In Germany, you have to get like perfect grades in all your subjects to become a doctor. And he was not at that point at all. So he just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to Brazil and study medicine there. So he did that. He just went to Brazil. He literally went the I am going to Brazil move. Yeah, that. Now thinking back on it, it's not a very interesting story. Oh my god, I almost just perished there. I should lock in. I should stop talking about my friends from Brazil and start video gaming. Brazil. It's a very fascinating country. You would think that it's like a global player and it's like really important in geopolitics, but it's really not. It's really important in South American politics. Maybe someday. It's such a huge place. The northernmost part of Brazil is closer to Canada than it is to the southernmost part of Brazil. I keep getting lost in this maze today for some reason. I've played through this level so many times. How did I get lost in the maze? I remember I met a guy that was on my travels. He was from California, which was very interesting. That's like the first person ever I met from California. And honestly, he was exactly what I imagined a Californian to be like. Down to the mannerisms and the way he talks and the way he looks. It was incredible. He was telling me he had like this revolutionary game idea where basically, you know, mazes where you like draw a line from one point to the next. He wanted to make a game where there's like hundreds of mazes, and then there's like user created levels, and you can play other people's mazes. And I don't know, is that a good idea? Is that something people would play on the shitter? And maybe that's the next big hit. I mean, maybe I'm just wrong about this. Maybe the maze community is looking for something. Oh yeah, favorite B-side soundtrack. That's a good question, actually. It would have to be Chapter 5. I know it's boring. Though Chapter 3 is really good as well. I'm not a big fan of Chapter 4. That one always gets praised. I don't know why. People always hype up Chapter 4B. I know this is blasphemy. Everyone's gonna leave my stream now that I said this, but I don't know. I never found the 8-bit effect all that good in that song. Alright, let's skip this cutscene. Let's kill Oshiro. No, that's gonna happen later. We're gonna give him a concussion. Multiple concussions, in fact. Alright, maybe I should actually lock in a little bit. I do want to read that message that Francis said. There we go. Don't forget about the amount of gangs Brazil has. The slum you live in is controlled by the CV Red Command. Oh yeah, that's true. one of my, I mean, the guy I was talking about, he says his parents made him pay to live in a gated community just so like they don't actually get targeted. But I feel like that's most impoverished places, unfortunately. That was pretty scary, actually. But I'm fine. Chat, do I demo dash? Do I demo dash? I'm not able to do it consistently enough to demo dash. I don't trust myself to do it. Though I really do hate this room. The urge to learn demo dashing just so I never have to play this room again is strong, but, you know, I manage. I actually got through it. That's impressive. This run's going pretty well. I was really prepared to, like, hold a whole speech when dying in that room. Okay, dying in this one would be embarrassing. I always find it so much easier than the rest of the part leading up to the Oshiro fight. I might have to log in for a little bit, not read too much of chat. Though, knowing myself, I'm still going to be reading chat. It's going to be a huge mistake. Such a hype song. The drummer's really going crazy on this one. The drummer, also known as Lena Rain, pressing virtual drums. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like if the soundtrack was played by actual musicians. I mean, there's some parts that were played by musicians, like, for example, in Farewell, the violin, that's like a real person playing the violin. There's, you know, a person credited with that part of the game. But most of it was just created in a DAW. Okay. Going surprisingly well right now. Suspiciously well, I would say. Alright, I bonked him. That's my bonking spot. My favorite bonking spot. Alright. This room's kind of tough. Okay, I got it. Whew. I'm gonna read your message after I do this. No! It's over! I got too scared. I needed to just like full force it. Alright, that's fine though. I got really far. Man, that's what I love about this challenge. The thrill of that fight. The joy of remembrance, your beloved. The hesitation is what got me, yeah. You're curious what controller I use? I use a Nintendo Switch Pro controller connected with a USB-C cable to my PC. I really like the Pro controller. It's generally just well-designed controller. And I appreciate the 3D rumble. It's such a nice bonus. I mean, you can play this game on like a $30 controller from Amazon. It's fine, but I love 3D rumble. I don't know why. When Madeline like falls from a great height and she hits the ground, my controller gives me a little feedback on that. That's what I live for. I used to watch a woodpecker when you were 5 or 7. It was the greatest show Brazil at its peak. Dude, Woody Woodpecker is so funny to me. Like, every single Brazilian person I've talked to, they all know this character. They all know this American cartoon character. And he's just completely unknown in the West. It's so funny to me. Oh yeah, we got the Thanos snap of viewership. That was great. Literally like half the people watching my stream left after I died. That's the classic though. Those aren't real heads, you know, those aren't the real people. Those aren't the people you want to cheer you on. You want the people to cheer that see you lose, and they're like, next time, this is gonna be it. If I had channel predictions, like on Twitch, the people who always go all in on yes, those are the kind of people you want behind you, you know? But yeah, on the question of controllers, I don't think this game is best played with a keyboard. I feel like at some point you get good enough at diagonal inputs that that problem really does get completely deleted. At that point, it's just using the feather, for example. Man, the feather when you're on keyboard is like the worst gimmick in the entire game. And the 360 movement really adds something to it. Alright, next time I'm not going to hesitate on the Oshiro fight. It's not much of a fight now, is it? It's more of a run. Joy of Remembrance, your beloved. Man, Joy of Remembrance. Using the feather on keyboard is painful. It's really funny. I I downloaded Ahorn. Or wait, no, they call it Lön now, don't they? Or did they used to call it Lön and now it's called Ahorn? I don't know. The Celeste map editor. I downloaded that and I built a level which was only possible on controller. But there's like one room close to the end of the level that's only possible on controller because you need like a certain angle. I felt so devious when making that. Maybe at some point I gotta show this level on stream. It's actually a pretty interesting thing I did when I was really bored. Yeah, sometimes you're in like a Zoom meeting. You don't even have much to say. You gotta just build a Celeste level on the side. That's the classic. Unfortunately, I've used the keyboard too much, and I'm too lazy to change for a controller. Wow, I mean, that is like the opposite thing of what I had. Because sometimes I'm too lazy to get my controller. I'm like sitting on my PC, my controller isn't connected. And I'm like, I don't want to get it. The first time I played Celeste on a keyboard and not on a controller was absolutely painful. I was incredibly bad at the game. It was really funny. At that point, I had beaten like chapter 1 through 6 golden berries on my Nintendo Switch. And on PC, I did like most of the golden berries with controller. And the first time I played on keyboard, I just like couldn't even beat chapter 1 properly. But after a time, you kind of get used to it. You get used to it, and now I'm kind of like ambidextrous. I'm definitely better on controller than I am on keyboard. But I can definitely do things on keyboard now. Alright, gotta lock in for just one room. The skill check room. Gotta teabag a little. I find it funny that they imitate that. Alright, you think the last time you used a controller was with PS1? We got a full-on PC gamer here. Yeah, no, I love my Nintendo Switch too much. There's too many good games on there. And honestly, Splatoon really taught me that a third-person shooter is best enjoyed with gyro controls. You're too far into the game, and when you try to use controller, it felt like you were playing for the first time. That literally is what it feels like. It's incredible. You feel like, I've played this game. I know I'm good at it. And then you just like forget about it. The red command is the biggest gang members, almost controlling how the songs. Please, like, really help you find the history in these. Oh, that's interesting. Man, who the fuck's messaging my Discord? Is it like a DM? Oh, it is like a DM. Because I did think I muted my Discord server. I have a Discord server, by the way. It kind of... Okay, so it used to be active, then kind of died when I stopped streaming. And now it's like kind of active with like a few people. It's very interesting. It's not very interesting. I lied. You should have seen your face. I just lied to your face and told you something was interesting, but it's clearly not. Oh man, that was incredible. You should have seen your faces. Yeah, but no, the feeling of changing your input method is... I think so many people know this, but specifically for Celeste. But no, there are some games that are best experience on controller and some best experience on keyboard and mouse. Like, for example, Super Meat Boy, best experience on keyboard. I'm gonna be real. I don't know why. You would... I was not focusing. You would think it would be better on controller, but I don't think it is. I think it's really funny that in the beginning of the game, like when you're opening up Super Meat Boy, there's like a little screen that says, "Don't bully people for using keyboard instead of controller." Which is really funny because I feel like in every single platformer game, in every modern platformer game, everyone always bullies controller users. Maybe that was like a vintage 2014 kind of internet bullying that he was talking about. I found that really funny. You're confused trying to figure out how to neutral jump on a controller, you just gave up. No, I mean neutral jump is still the same. You just kind of stop holding direction at the. You just kind of stop holding at the wall. You don't even know how I'm saying a bunch of logic that comes in your head. All of a sudden you're talking normally and you remember a fucking Operation Brazil in 2010. I mean, it's fun to know a lot of things. At first you feel burdened by the amount of knowledge you have attained. But the more knowledge you attain, the more jaded you become. I feel like that's definitely a thing, because what really put things in perspective for me is how it's easy to think about people dying on a scale of thousands. It's much harder on a scale of like 3. Maybe it's because it's more personal. At some point you just get desensitized. I think that's it. But no. That's unrelated. I mean, it's kind of like Celeste. If you're playing a baby easy game, if you're playing Kirby, which, okay, no, some Kirby games are hard, but if you're playing Kirby Star Allies, you should not be dying much. So a death in that game is worth a lot. But in Celeste, I mean, you die all the time. It's fine. Though I feel like some people don't have that epiphany when playing Celeste. I find that really interesting. I see some people play this game online. They still get angry at the game in like chapter 7. Which I always found really fascinating. This game is one of it really makes one of the best jobs at not making you angry when you play it. Though I don't ever get angry when I play video games, really. But I feel as though it's hard to get mad at Celeste when you die. It's almost like oh dang it, man, I missed that jump. It's not like, this is such a bullshit video game, I hate the way this is designed. Well, okay. Maybe during chapter 3B you can think that, because I just don't like cycle-based platforming. I feel like every death in Celeste is just fair and feels like the mechanics are at your advantage. That's absolutely true. Oh, though. There are some rooms in Farewell where I sometimes question the developer's intention. Though at the end of the day, I never blamed the game mechanics. I always blame... I know, I say like, this room was designed to be too hard. Right? But I don't... It always comes down to, I didn't have the necessary skill to go through this room. It's unreasonably difficult. It's never that I say, oh yeah, this is like bullshit. I didn't die. It's not my fault that I died. That was a controller moment. Honestly, I gotta hand it to the keyboard people in chat. That was a controller moment. That wouldn't happen on keyboard. True. You felt that you needed to do a mechanic better or jump better? Yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten mad at Celeste. Despite dying tens of thousands of times, it just never feels unfair. Yeah, it's also what I feel like. They really did a good job on designing the rooms on this one. I found one stream I looked at was really fascinating. It was this person playing through Celeste for the first time. And they clearly try to play up the theatrics of being angry at the game. You know? They beat chapter 7, and it's like such a satisfying conclusion. You just sit at the top of the mountain, and the end of level theme is like acoustic on a piano. It's clearly made to give you a feeling of, you know, it's supposed to make you sigh and breathe a breath of the relief or something. But he tried to be like, oh, this game, I finally beat it, I'm gonna uninstall it, you know, for the theatrics of it. And I found that fascinating, because it's they were trying really hard, but they couldn't even succeed in making it seem real. I don't know. But that was like years ago. That's interesting. Yeah, I found that really interesting as well. But man, there's never going to be a game like this again. That's probably for the best. There can't be another game I sink so many hours into to get good at. I've mastered this game's movement, you know. You can't expect me to pour another hundreds of hours to master another game's movement. Celeste 2. Honestly, I would be down if the developers just decided to make some like bonus levels that are unrelated to the story. And they're like, oh yeah, we just kind of wanted to make some extra levels. I mean, Celeste 64 was great. That was incredible. That was really fun. And the fact that they made that in 2 days, that should have been a full game. You're slowly being consumed by brain rot. At this point, your brain will be a non-Newtonian fluid that creates waves inside my cranium. There's a lot of community levels. I agree. I mean, I haven't even played through the entirety of like the strawberry jam and all the other jams, all the spring collab. There's so many level packs that are at the quality of like the base game. I mean, down to like some of the music. I mean, creating a fully fledged album for a mod is insane. But you can't tell me that Blueberry Bay ain't a banger, you know? But no, Francis, that's really interesting. I've thought about the concept of brain rot a lot. The troll sides were amazing. I haven't played those. I haven't played too much community content actually. Yeah, but nothing's beating Farewell music. It's not even. I used to be like a guy. I used to say that Farewell is the best track in the game. Like the actual track Farewell, and it's definitely the top 3. But I think honestly the vibes of Chapter 5 music they're too strong. Too strong, the vibes. Strawberry Jam OST is good. Yeah, it's really good. They really did a great job on it. I mean, some of the songs are mediocre, but the ones that shine brightly. And I feel like the overall quality, the average quality is just really high. Everyone did a great job. And everyone tried their best. That's what I feel most that's what I look for most when I play these things. Because you can clearly tell someone tried hard. There's shitting out a level, you know, where like, I gotta shit on another level for this game to increase the runtime. And then there's like 50 people getting together and each one handcrafting something. And that's the one thing they focused on making, or like one of the 3 things they focused on making. It's a completely different approach. But yeah. Now coming back to Francis' point, I thought a lot about brain rot. I think it's a very interesting experience that we live in today, because everyone's got their own personalized algorithms. Because back in the day, you know, TV brain rot, at least you knew there were a lot of people watching the same thing as you. But the fact that everything's curated now, and you still feel jaded, it really is just falling asleep in front of the television. That a lot of people are doing. But I feel like we're just calling it different names. Yeah, some of these levels took like 2 years to make. It's insane. Yeah. That's like a completely different thing. When you play a Super Mario Maker Super World, this is off topic, but when you play Super Mario Maker 2, this is like Super Worlds. And I feel like you can tell what levels were thought of before they started making the Super World. Or what levels they put a lot of time into. And what levels were just cranked out, you know, because they needed another level. And maybe you can say, of course, fear the man who makes the same level 100 times rather than the man who makes who makes a different level 100 times. You know? I feel like there's something to that. Though of course you do get better at designing things when you do it more often. That is true as well. Definitely a push and pull kind of thing. What I find really sad is at some point extremely okay games. Well, back then they were still Matt Makes games. That was like pre-Farewell. They were thinking about they were trying to adapt the level editor they were using to make the levels in Celeste into a like user experience thing. And they were thinking about adding it as an update or as DLC, like free DLC, to put like an actual level editor and community browser into the game itself. But in the end, they decided against it because the community kind of organized itself and they create their own editors and, you know, with Lun coming out and all that stuff. Hi! Welcome home, the Hog Stealer. But I would find it really interesting how different the game would be if there was an official built-in level editor. Because I feel like the fact that it's made by the community, a lot more modding, a lot more like custom features are enabled by that. There's definitely benefits and downsides to it. It's interesting to imagine how the game would be very different. I always find it really sad when developers don't archive early versions of their games. You know, especially when I look through Stardew Valley. I don't know if you've ever looked at unused Stardew Valley content or early screenshots. It's so fun to just like imagine going through that. I mean, even if it's like a development version that's unfinished and it's got minor changes in comparison to the new one, it's still very interesting. I feel like if I was making a game, I would make lots of backups, you know, of different versions, just to have them. It's too interesting to me. I love these kinds of work in progress things. Not for it to sound overused, but it almost seems liminal to that extent. Or The Binding of Isaac, which old version is still on Steam. I wouldn't say its old version is still on Steam. I would say it's more like Rebirth and Afterbirth and Repentance, you know? Those games are like Afterbirth and Afterbirth Plus and Repentance added so many things that Rebirth at this point almost feels like an unfinished game. Are you thinking of going for any of the skips? Well, maybe some. Maybe the one in Chapter 5 for the big room where you need to get 2 keys. I'm definitely not going to be demo dashing. Mostly because I can't do it consistently enough, and I don't want to waste 10 minutes of every viewer's time every single time I get to that room. I should be paying attention. But the one thing that makes me kind of want to do skips is that it's really hype. It makes my heart race whenever I do it. You know, the small adrenaline kick, it can become addictive. You're talking about the Flash version of Isaac. It's still old, but it's still fun to come back to. Well, I feel like it's more of a different game than an early version. But I understand what you mean. That was close. Yeah, that was really close. I got like distracted and I didn't hit the wall the way I expected to hit the wall. Alright. Let's find the subtle detail of... If you're in a room in this level where there's a cracked window, you can hear a slight wind sound. Which is such a small thing that you only notice when you play through these games like when you play through these levels like 5 times. I think it's really nice. But yeah, no, I mean, there's merits to playing the Flash version of Isaac. It's fairly different to Repentance now. Or even Rebirth, for that matter. I mean, design philosophies changed along the way, which... That's kind of what happens for every game, you know? So many games looked so different before they came out. They seem unrecognizable to us. And you always want to play the early version, but then you need to rationalize to yourself that there's a reason things were changed. So the early version was probably like not good, or not nearly as good as the new one. And that's like most unused content. I mean, if you look at Mario the Cutting Room floor and you see like unused enemies in Super Mario Sunshine and see that giant walnut egg dude walking around Delfino Plaza in the trailer, you always think, man, it would have been so fun to see that guy. But I feel as though he was probably removed for a reason, you know? The developers probably knew what they were doing. He probably wasn't fun. And they came to that conclusion after thinking about it. Which is why I wish developers archived old versions, because, you know, even if it's not fun, it's interesting, at least. Dum, dum. What an epic song. Alright, time to do that one room that I always feel like I will die to. Let's see if we get set back 11 minutes or not. Well, it's gonna be like 11 and a half. 11:15. Watch me call the time. No, that was poor timing. Okay, do not get sent back 11:12. Holy shit, I got it right by the second. That's incredible. I can't believe that. Well, alright, I guess we're doing one more Oshiro fight. Well, okay, no. We aren't doing another Oshiro fight yet. I might still die to the room where it's kind of embarrassing to die to it. But I've had my fair share of losses in this room as well. Alright, I got it. Alright. We're doing another Oshiro fight, chat. Wish me luck, wish me luck. Whew. Because for the Oshiro fight, what you really need is... You need to have your route figured out. You don't like Oshiro? You don't like the character or you don't like the fight? I think he as a character is incredibly fascinating. But as a game mechanic, he can be a bit annoying. Mostly because he seems so variable to me. The fight, yeah. He seems so variable to me. So many things can happen. Like, you do a room slightly different than you usually do it, and all of a sudden his dash is, like, completely off sync from what you expect. Like, this bonk only works because I know that it will work. Alright. You just use your golden route because it's the one you're most comfortable with. Yeah. And that's what you should try to do. I'm trying to go slow. Because I feel like I've got pretty good variable skill in this game, overall. And I don't want to rely on a route where if I do like a small thing differently, all of a sudden it all falls apart. It's kind of like putting all my eggs in one basket. It's tough to adapt when you've got a route in mind. Hey everyone. We did chapter 3! Let's go, chat! Let's hit it! Oh man, it always feels exhilarating to get to chapter 4. Oh man, this one always feels really good. I love this one clip on my channel. I get to chapter 4, right? I'm like so hyped, you know, I took like a break in the level select screen. And on the previous room, I miss one of the clouds and I fall down to a ledge that I can't get up from anymore. I die on the first room of chapter 4. My reaction is so heartbreaking. It's also so funny. Alright, but I feel like this chapter is easier than chapter 3. At least for Golden Berry, I found this one easier. Mostly because I don't like cycle-based platforming. To be good at chapter 3, you really just need to know the route. You just need to know the route. Do you guys say route or route? It's very interesting for me as a person who learned English online. It's like my third language. So I just use them interchangeably. I don't have a consistent accent. Route. Route sounds like a German word. Route. Even though in German you say Route. Maybe I'm just thinking that because I know the word Kraut. Alright. Let's lock in. I don't know why I did that. That was just stupid. There's no need to be dumb. Alright, I got it. I got it. I'm good. And this level really only gets hard once you get to the strong wind. Like, I'm not very concerned right now. Like, these rooms are fairly doable. It's just basic platforming, really. I mean, I don't even know how anyone could struggle with this, you know? Says the streamer who's about to die to a random room, unexpectedly. Heart attack. Alright, now we got to the wind part. Now is when I get a little bit nervous. I get a little bit of nervousness. Alright. Any tips on the new Celeste player? I've done chapter 7 and heading into chapter 8 unlocked. Free chapter 4 was one of the most fun goldens. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, 2C is the most fun golden berry in the game. I fully agree with you. Tips for new Celeste players. I feel like most of it is really just it's practice, you know. You gotta just keep at it. I think what made me improve most in skill doing Celeste is after I beat chapter 8. At this point, Farewell wasn't out yet, so that was like way back in the day. I beat the game without climbing, or I tried to at least, which was a very interesting challenge because I didn't know how much I relied on it, and that playthrough really made me master wall jumps. For years, I really wanted to make a challenge video about it, but then someone beat me to it. So now there's not really much purpose to it. Because I feel like that's the trap that's really easy to fall into. It's really easy to fall into the trap of clinging to walls instead of wall jumping. I feel like that's what separates the men for the boys, for that matter. That was really close. I almost just got myself killed. What was really funny is I did that whole playthrough without any research. I did not know how to wave dash. I also did not know how to one-sided wall jump. I taught myself that. I found out how to do that while playing through chapter 7, which was really funny. I am not reading that message. I always knew these people existed, but I don't think I've ever seen someone just state it outright. That's very interesting. Alright. I've died on this room before, so that's pretty good. The next room I've died to before is the 3rd snowball room. So let's see if I get past whatever that is. This is the 2nd snowball room. Oh no! Oh my god. Okay. So I've died to this room before, apparently. During a permadeath run. Alright. I gotta kind of lock in. I'm sorry if I'm not reading chat right now. It's like fine to read chat on other parts of the level because you can just kind of stand there for a second, but here if you stand there for a second, you just get lobbed by a snowball. Okay, let's read some chat messages. You're gonna go now? Alright, have a nice rest of your day, the thonk stealer. The honk stealer. Game is game. Learn hyperdash, superdash, extended dash by just messing around, yeah. But without dying, is it per chapter, or do you die once? Yes, when I die, I delete the save file. When I die, I uninstall the game. No, I delete the save file. I start all the way from the beginning. It's not per chapter. I've done all the golden berries, yeah. It's pretty tough. But I've made it to chapter 4, so, I mean, that's something. That's like half the game. Though the first 2 chapters kind of don't count. Chat, we did it! That's incredible. I cannot believe that. I thought this was a normal video and it's live. What the fuck? Welcome home, Henry Parker. Welcome home, Henry Parker. I know where you are. You cannot run forever. That's crazy. Well played, dude. I'm hyped. Chapter 5. Help me. Yeah, you're gonna need some help, man. The boys are on the way. But you've gotten every golden or the A sides? I've gotten every golden except for 7B and Farewell. I've gotten all the other ones. 7B's just really hard because it's so long. Oh man, look at this place. I'm not. I guess I kind of have no choice but to go in. Man, this is the best chapter in the game. Don't at me. Mostly just narrative-wise. I think gameplay-wise, it's not the best chapter in the game. But I love the narrative for this one. Probably gonna go now. I'm definitely gonna sub. You're pretty underrated. Thank you. It's funny that you say this. This is like my most successful stream by far. But are you going only for the chapter 7 but also the core? I'm going for 7. You still got 7 BG and 8 BG left. Yeah, I mean, 7B is really tough. It's the length that gets you. Yeah. Oh man, am I gonna go for it? Okay. I went for it. That was pretty scary. That was one of those skips you wanted to see, chat, didn't you? Gotta go sub. Thank you very much. Alright, have a wonderful rest of your night. I don't know if the people watching me are Americans. Is it late enough for the Americans to come out of hiding yet? Because I'm streaming from Germany, so it's 11 p.m. for me now. Well, it's 8 minutes to 11. It's actually not that bad. I stream Isaac as well. Yes, sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. I also streamed New Super Mario Bros. Was probably my best stream series. If you really want to watch some great VODs, that was really funny. But honestly, I'm just an amazing person and just a really great streamer who makes funny content. No, I do sometimes stream Isaac as well. Yeah, it's the same for me because you're in Poland. Lots of people from Poland watching my channel is what I've noticed. Also from England. That makes sense as well. Yeah, lots of people from Poland. I don't know why. I checked my channel analytics and it's like 12% of my channel views are from Poland. I sometimes wonder how that happened. I guess it's the types of games I play. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, but I think it's cool to have it's really fun to stream at European times because you get such a diverse mix of people. Alright. Okay. You don't see any German streamers? Well, I don't stream in German. I'm technically a German streamer. But I don't stream in German. There are some German streamers, but... The fact of the matter is, what I've noticed, is like basically everyone in this country speaks English at quite a proficient level. So most people just consume content in English, or they just watch like public television. I feel like the internet for Germans is just generally in English. That does not count as a death. That one is mandatory. That one is mandatory. You're my 191st streamer. I assume subscriber. That's really interesting. It's really funny because I didn't stream last month. My sub count said -4 last month because 4 people unsubscribed while I wasn't streaming. So I'm back up to 191. I've been at 191 before. Yeah, but I feel like most people who unsub are just like people who sub back when I was like doing only Isaac content. They're like, what is this streamer doing? Why is he not playing The Binding of Isaac anymore? I used to stream Isaac every day on Twitch. I used to be an Isaac channel. But honestly, at some point, I kind of got tired of it because, firstly, most of the people watching Isaac content at the time, it's like pre-repentance, were children, like fairly young for that matter, which didn't make for the greatest chat, I will say. I don't have anything against children watching my content. I mean, when I was like 12, I also loved watching Isaac videos. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the greatest experience as a live streamer, I would say. It's people trying too hard to get noticed. You're just starting Isaac. It's a great video game. It's the roguelike, you know? It's like the one that everyone knows and plays and everyone's trying to imitate. Gleich lese ich deine Nachricht. The Cuber X. Oh, okay. Got him. Got my guy. My guy's fucking Fred. He's not dead. You can actually kill the Seekers, though. Alright, cutscene time. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen, wir lernen Deutsch in der Schule. That's actually pretty good. That is grammatically correct. I love RPGs and roguelikes. It's like the perfect game for you. Do I have Dead God? I actually never got Dead God. Though I'm trying to, I guess. It just takes a really long time, especially with the Tainteds now. I didn't get it before Tainted's released, and at this point it's so much workload has been added. Like getting Dead God and Rebirth and getting Dead God and Repentance are two completely different things. Isn't Dead God either Merrick or mark every mark on every character? I think it's also just like every unlock. I'm not sure. Yes, that's the second skip I'm doing because it's fairly consistent. That's what you will notice about the skips I do. I do the ones that I can do consistently. Because I don't really want to risk things. Especially when you're this far into the game. Like at this point, I've been playing this run for 25 minutes. I know I tell everyone not to get attached. But it's tough not to get attached to these runs when you're so deep into the game. Tainted Lost, best experience. And it's not like even like the worst Tainted character. Lost isn't even like the least fun experience, I'm gonna say. I think other characters are less fun. Because the Lost at least offers an interesting challenge. When I play Blue Baby, I just wish I was playing any other character. Alright. Are we gonna beat our record? The record is the room after this. No, it's actually not the room after this one, but it's like fairly quick into this section. Oh, it is this room. This is where I lost last time. Dude, we can do it. We can do it. New record, chat. New record, chat. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, this is a really bad. Oh my god, I got out of. Holy fuck. That was so scary. Okay, chat. You better start dashing at me. I hate it when they don't dash. No! Oh my god. Oh hell no, not Blue Baby, yeah. You're nearly at unlocking your first Tainted character and you think Isaac first because you like its gimmicks. I haven't even unlocked every Tainted character. I didn't play that much Repentance. I played a lot of Afterbirth Plus. That's mostly what my streams were about, just kind of discovering Repentance. Which is also like really interesting for the viewer who's played it. People really like that. People like seeing your reaction for some things for the first time. Okay. Okay. No! No! Oh my god. No! Don't push me away! Oh. No! Oh. Whew, that's tough. That's tough. I didn't get my consistent win, which is what I usually do. That is a new record, though, chat. That is a new record. No, not continue. By the way, if it says 2 deaths, that's because save and quit takes 1 death. Like, if you save and quit in the middle of a level, that's a death. Your nerves? Yeah, that's what gets you. Man, I got so... When both Seekers started chasing me, because usually when I play through that room, I managed to get it so only one of the Seekers gets to me. But this time both of them were trying to get me. Oh, man. That was tough. I think it's probably going to be one of my last attempts, because it's like 11 p.m. But today has been a really fun stream. So many people dropping by to cheer me on. There was an Isaac run recently with Holy Mantle plus Sacred Heart. That's crazy. Average diplopia moment for sure. I think it's really funny that the more things you unlock, the less likely it is that you'll find Sacred Heart. Because that's like a default unlock if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. Well, that's part of this challenge. Moving on after losses like that. I really don't feel demoralized. I feel incredible because that was such a good run. You know? Just to really note how far that was into the level. If you listen to the music, that's what I was going to talk about once I got to the next room. You could hear that the music was no longer a reversed piano, but it was a normal piano, which is what it does. Like the closer you get to the exit of the Mirror Temple, the less mirrored the song gets. So we were like 3 rooms away from beating that. Oh man, that was tough. But at least more content. You'll not get me away so quick. You can't get rid of me that fast. You never noticed that music thing. Yeah, that was an amazing run. Oh man. No, I feel like the music for Chapter 5 is so well designed. Because, I mean, the music for Chapter 5, once you get to that big room, it's the music of like the first part of Chapter 5 in reverse. Which makes sense, the Mirror Temple. But I feel like at least at this point everyone knows about the secret message, where if you play that song in reverse, you can hear like the whispering from Lena Raine. Which kind of just nails on the head what that whole chapter is about. It's also like the best named song in the game. Quiet and Falling is such a good name for a song. Only people who have been at absolute zero in depression know what that refers to. And it hits so hard. Like there's just this certain feeling that can best be described as quiet yet falling. Man. Such a good chapter. That really is, like when I play with people, it's a lot of people want to stop after chapter 3 because it's kind of frustrating because of the cycle-based platforming, which is really unfortunate because the game really gets good after chapter 4. Indie game music just hits different, man. Yeah. I'm just thinking about it, like, it's not even just indie music. I feel like a lot of video game music in general just hits really well. If it's like actually made to suit the video game instead of just being orchestral, grandiose music. And Nintendo makes really good music for their games. But yeah, Celeste is a whole nother level. Oh. Also, cool detail. Maybe this one's pretty well known. Everyone knows that the distorted synth plays when Battlein is around. But what you might not have noticed is that that little choir you hear, that also only plays when Battlein is around. It goes, oh, yeah, that one. That one also only plays when Battlein is around, which is really interesting because there's some tracks where there's no distorted synth, but there's like a little backing vocal track. What's that about? Oh, now we know. You know. So many little things that Lena Raine put into this soundtrack. There's some, you know, music critics would call the symbolism too obvious, but I feel like it just adds, like, so many more people can understand the music cues when they're obvious. Hollow Knight. Yeah, Christopher Larkin is goated. Christopher Larkin, composer of Hollow Knight, got an entire orchestra for Silksong. I can't wait to hear that, but honestly, I don't think Silksong's ever coming out. Yep, I don't think it's ever coming out. I think Team Cherry blew all their money on Hookers and Blow. I think they spent it all on prostitutes and cocaine. And they ran out of money, and now they're living on the street. The game's never coming out. Alternative idea. They spent all their money creating a grandiose trailer that looks like a finished video game. You know, that's also possible. We don't know if the Silk Song we saw in the trailers is an actual game. Maybe it's just pre-rendered footage. When Silk Song? Hollow Knight fans are going through the exact thing that Pikmin fans were going through 2 years ago. Because I think what made the Pikmin community go insane before Pikmin 4 came out was that one fuck-ass interview where Miyamoto said Pikmin 4 was close to completion. Or they paid the hookers to program the game for them. That's also a good one. Yeah, the hookers, they need to learn software development. It takes a long time to teach them that kind of thing. Yeah. Anyways, no, the Pikmin community, they went insane. It's still probably the most brain-rotted community for any video game I've seen. But the brain rot is like purely satirical, you know. It's purely for the optics. It's really funny. But the fact that for 9 years, or 10 years actually, they were taunted with this interview that Pikmin 4 does exist. It's just never coming out. I think that's why Silksong fans are also going kind of crazy. It's the fact that we know there's gonna be another game that's being worked on, but it's just not releasing. That's what makes the wait so tough. Yeah, but I think Extremely OK's game's next game, Earthblade, I think it's supposed to release this year actually. At least that's what their website says. Maybe they announced something else on Twitter. Though to me, that game, it just looks like... It looks like Hollow Knight with a less interesting world. I hate to compare it to another game, but the trailer looks to me like Hollow Knight, but with, you know, less interesting ideas. But I haven't played it yet. I don't know. What is also a little bit discouraging is that the soundtrack was made during that era where Lena Raine really loved using weird vocals. Like even on Twitter, she like made fun of people for like criticizing her for using those. I'm not the biggest fan of them. She's like, I'm gonna put an extra high amount of them in the new game, which is unfortunate because, you know, not the biggest fan of them, but she probably knows what she's doing. But Lena Raine's such an interesting case study to me because it's really tough to be the person who made the music for Celeste and be best known for making music for Minecraft. Like, the fact that she's not most known for her work on Celeste is insane. Like, how do you manage that? A real career step up, you know? That's like if you were working as a janitor for Microsoft and then all of a sudden you're like senior expert in IT. You just get instantly promoted. Yeah, you forgot to mention Cuphead music. Yeah, that one's really creative. They really hit the vibe there. Surprisingly enough, like despite me perfecting all of Cuphead, I actually haven't played Delicious Last Course yet. Maybe I should do that on stream. Ooh, that could be interesting. I could play Delicious Last Course on stream. I love doing hard shit, which you may have noticed by the title of the stream and the contents of the stream you're watching. I like doing difficult challenges. I've had this enamoration ever since I was young, you know. I was such a completionist, always. I always wanted to do everything in every game I owned. I think, like for Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, the final boss fight was so difficult for me as a kid. And when I played Super Mario Galaxy 2 and I got around to the perfect run, I feel like that's when my love for grinding things for hours and then finally feeling that feeling of relief when you finally do it. That's when that love really came about, because there's nothing better than hearing that gong hit of the Golden Berry Collect. There's nothing quite like it. Oh, the Cuphead DLC is really hard. You got stuck on the final boss for a long time. That's what I hope for from Cuphead DLC. It's hard. It'd be really sad if it's like they had the base game be like really hard and then the actual DLC is just like piss easy. That would be kind of funny. I've also always thought about the concept of making a game that's unreasonably difficult. And then once the first guy beats it, you release like the actual intended game, which is like much easier and much more forgiving. I don't know why that concept was really interesting to me, you know, like as a race. And the person who beats it for the first time gets like some sort of reward. It's like Celeste released, but there were no respawns. Like you couldn't respawn. You had to do every level Goldenberry on your first try. It's just unreasonably difficult, and the players have to get good in those like awful environments. I don't know why I found that so fascinating. All right, Oshiro time. We've kind of gotten desensitized to him now that it's like the third time we've seen him today. That one's tough. That one's tough. I got too desensitized. I got too relaxed. I laid back in my chair too much. I should have made a big deal about Mr. Oshiro. Yeah, I said that was my last run. Honestly, I'm having such a good time streaming today. I think I'm gonna go to the top of the hour. I'm gonna stream until tomorrow, is what I'm just gonna say, you know? It's like 11:12 for me. Or 23:12. Because in Europe we do use the 24-hour system, which I think it's superior. Hate to break it to you, pal. I just think the 24-hour system is superior. When I look at a digital clock, it's supposed to say it's not supposed to have a PM and AM display. That's all I'm gonna say. Wow. That was incredible. That was incredible. That was a Geometry Dash level. That was a hard demon. At one time, the creator just changed the level back. Back on track, so there... Wait. Back on track, so there was just an easy difficulty level count as a hard demon. That's really funny. Damn, that's rough, yeah. Yeah, dying in the first chapter is just slightly... It is a hard game, you know. Celeste is a hard game, after all. I know when Madeline speaks to Granny in the beginning, she says the driveway collapsed and almost killed her, you know? I'm just playing canonical to the game. Madeline's not good at climbing, you know? This is unrealistic. Honestly, the canon explanation for Celeste speedrun is so funny to me. Madeline's like, I can do this, you know? Madeline tells her you're not a mountain climber. Meanwhile, she flew through the mountain, you know, all the way up to like chapter 5 in 12 minutes. You are not a mountain climber. Are you sure, Madeline? I feel like we're kind of good at this. I feel like maybe it was made to climb mountains. I was not looking at the screen, and I almost died, but I did not. Because I'm a god gamer. I am the god gamer. The farewell speeders are even funnier. Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Granny dies and Melon gets over it in 13 minutes. Yeah, really speedrunning the stages of grief. I think I hear that read surprisingly rarely on that level. But I found it quite obvious that the level follows the 5 stages of grief. I find it quite obvious, actually. Like, especially when it gets to depression, where everything gets gray, like, during the in-stasis part. And like, bargaining, or she's like, oh no, if I beat it, she'll come back. I feel like surprisingly few people got that read on the level. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm just wrong. Though nothing will ever make me forgive the creators of Farewell for making the part of the level where the song Determination plays that long. I got so tired of that song. So do you think Celeste is one of the hardest games to speedrun? Yes, I think it's one of the most competitive games to speedrun. Level gives you the 5 stages of grief, especially depression and anger. That is fair, yeah. At the end, you do kind of just reach acceptance. Yeah. For real. Dude, Determination plays for too long. Like, really, I did not... The soundtrack for that game is so good. You could have made one more song to fit into that gap somewhere. I feel like most of my time playing that level is hearing that one song. Do-do, do-do-do. Acceptance is trying to get golden or something. For real. But do I think Celeste is one of the hardest games to speedrun? It depends. So, I feel like if you've beaten Celeste, and you've done all the content, like once you've beaten Farewell, you're good enough at the game to do a competent job at speedrunning it. Even without a route. But when we're speaking difficulty-wise, I think it's definitely tough to compete in the higher echelons because it's such a competitive game. It's one of the most speedrun games of all time. It's like asking, is Super Mario 64 hard to speedrun? Because, I mean, like, no. The execution itself is fine. But speedrunning it in a way where you get really good times, that's tough. I hope that, like, is an acceptable explanation to your question. But there are people who are far more educated on me on this because I had like a short bout of speedrunning. I got like a sub 45 time and then I stopped. The viewership wasn't there, no one wanted to watch it, so I just pivoted to something else. The best part of streaming is talking to chat. When you don't have any chat, it's not as fun. Not nearly as fun at least. Yeah, but no, the Farewell does make you feel the 5 stages of grief, especially for some other rooms. You know, the one room where there's like this moving block and you do a wave dash onto the moving block and then do like 5 more things. That one really makes you go through all of them. At this point, I will get Farewell Golden before any B-sides. Not that room. Everyone knows that room. That room used to be harder. They nerfed it. They nerfed quite a few rooms on Farewell. They patched the game to make some of the rooms easier. Though I think some of the ones they patched was questionable. Like, they fixed some rooms that they didn't need to fix, and they didn't fix other rooms that they should have fixed. That room. Yeah, everyone knows that one. I feel like that one's infamous because that one is probably the one time I genuinely felt like it was bullshit when I played Celeste. Just because it's not execution, you know, it's getting down the timing. It has nothing to do with, you know, mastering the controls. It has all to do with being able to find a consistent timing to wave dash after activating the block. That is the one room I will always say. That one was a little questionably designed. It's an interesting idea, but I just think the execution wasn't that great. Man. Chapter 3 makes me think back. Oh, but you're saying you'll get good Farewell before you'll get all the golden B-sides? The golden B-sides are so much harder than anything else. Chapter 3 B golden made me feel like a god at the game. I think that one might be the hardest golden berry. The hardest B-side golden berry besides 7B. Like, I'll definitely have to say 4, 5, and 6 golden berry are much easier than Chapter 3 golden berry. Because Chapter 3B is just such a tough stage. All the cycle-based platforming. At least the song's a banger. I remember I beat that while I was on a trip to Finland. Isn't 8B harder? You might have got me on that, yeah. Yeah, no. I think my ranking would be 7B, 8B, 3B, 6B, 5B, 4B, 1B, 2B. 2B is the easiest one. I think that would have to be my ranking. You can tear me apart for it, but that I have done all of them except for 7B, so I'm probably a little biased by saying that one's the hardest. Yeah, 2B is the easiest one, yeah. But it's really fun. I really love that level. I just love the dream blocks. They're so good. Such a great gimmick. Definitely one of the best gimmicks in the game. I'm always glad when I play a Celeste custom level and they use the dream blocks. I always get excited because I'm like, oh, these are fun. I like these. When I see people use the moving platforms from Chapter 4, I always think, that one should have maybe stayed in the drafts. What's another one? The Chapter 6 bumpers often get misused. The dream blocks are your favorite mechanic. Too bad they don't appear very often. Yeah. I would say they're my favorite as well. I think Chapter 6 bumpers get abused in custom levels, sometimes for devious purposes. Sorry, that was my Discord pinging. I should really mute my Discord when I stream. Sorry about that, chat. I'm really just ignoring all the pings I've gotten. There's like people trying to DM me. Yeah, someone's probably like, I'm having a heart attack, please call an ambulance. Nah, man, I'm streaming. Get with the times. What's more important, the life of one of my friends or video game live stream for a niche internet community? I think the answer is obvious, really. Alright, Mr. Oshiro. Alright, okay, Mr. Oshiro, if that is even your real name, sir. I would like to speak to the manager of this establishment. I am the manager. Yeah, then the boomer parent goes on a racist tirade against them. That's what I imagine. That's what I imagine killed Mr. Oshiro. So it made him so anxious, you know, he never wanted to provide bad service to anyone else. You can find another friend when you play the game for the first time, only once. Yeah. I'm not playing it for the first time. To be completely clear here, I've played this game a lot of times. But yeah. Man. It's so fun getting new close friends because they probably haven't played this game. So I can have them play this game and watch them experience the game for the first time. Which is such a cool experience, you know, seeing people you're close to experience this game for the first time. And encourage them when they keep on failing. And see them be extremely impressed when you show them how to beat one of the rooms because you're so good at the game. That's always the funniest. People who've never played Celeste don't understand. Like there's like a perception distribution. It's like a Gaussian distribution, you know? Like the perceived skill of what you do. Like people who've never played the game, they don't really appreciate what you do. People who've like beaten the game but like never really went past that, they think you're really, really good at the game. And then people who are like really good at the game, they're like, oh, that's just normal. No, oh my god. Okay. We live another day. By dubious means, I might add, but we do live another day to tell the tale. All right. Soon it shall be time for another Oshiro fight. This time I'll give him a bit more respect. I didn't respect him enough last time. Yeah, I'm buying all my friends Celeste for their birthdays. Yeah, I've done that before. I've gifted my friend Celeste. It really depends on the birthday, though, you know? I feel like if someone gave me Celeste for my birthday... If someone gave me a video game for my birthday on Steam, like added it to my library, I might just forget about it, because my birthday is December 31st. There's like so many festivities around my birthday. It's kind of like one of the big three birthdays you do not want to have. You know, the big three being Christmas, New Year's, and Leap Day. But, yeah. I feel like I would forget about a gift that's like not physically given to me. I don't know why. Probably just too much going on. But no, when you gift a friend a game on Steam and then you see them play it later, you see they're online playing the game you gifted them, you feel so good. Because usually when you give a gift to someone, you don't know if they use it, you know? Like when you give like a t-shirt to someone, it always feels great when you see them wear it, you know? But for a video game, for Steam, we get live feedback on when they're playing. And with the Steam achievements, you can even tell how far they're into Celeste. It's an interesting experience, really. Wait, why is that guy... Wait, is he supposed to be... I don't know why I assumed the first guy was moving as well. I was like, is everything alright? I felt like my level was broken for a second. Yeah, no, seeing your friend online with a game you gifted them is really like seeing a friend out in public with a piece of clothing you gave to them. Damn, birthday on December 31st, that's rough, yeah. Yeah, it's not great. People invite you to parties that are like New Year's Eve parties, and then like they wish you a happy new year without wishing you a happy birthday, which that one's always the funniest one. Oh man, oh you want to celebrate something? Sorry, I'm already going somewhere else. That's okay. What I always find funny is people say, "Oh no, it's a great birthday. Everyone throws fireworks for you." No, they don't. They throw fireworks the second my birthday is over. Holy shit, I just spoke through that, but my heart just sank. You know? When I touched that wall, my heart sank. I felt like it was over. Oh man, I'm so glad I managed to save myself there. Ooh, wow. Alright. Let's get through chapter 4. I haven't died on chapter 4 yet this stream. I have a 100% success rate for this chapter during this live stream. Which is totally not jinxing myself. Totally not. I gotta just play kind of safe, you know? It's so easy to get greedy and like do skips like this one. But like, you mess up like a little thing and then it's all over. It's Jover. And you don't want it to be Jover. You definitely don't want it to be Jover. Let's get a strawberry. You know, for the souvenir. Get the number at the end of chapter 7 to say 3 instead of 2. Actually, I have to go because you have school tomorrow. Yeah, I'm probably ending soon as well. I was planning on ending like close to 12. And if this run gets to chapter 5, it'll probably get close to 12. Oh man, but it's so exciting. That's the thing about these. When you start a run, I always gotta plan about 30 minutes because the run might take that long. I can't just like let my viewers hanging, you know? I can't just like edge you that like that and say, "Oh, we're finishing this tomorrow." I can't do that to my people. Oh. Man, right now when there aren't any snowballs, it's so chill, you know. I feel like I'm just relaxing. Oshiro felt so stressful for no reason. I've managed to make it feel routine to play this level, which is good. But I mean, up until last stream, not last stream, the one before the last stream, I only got to chapter 4 twice. It was like a super rare event. I can clearly tell that I've gotten better at this challenge. Like, putting in the hours of practice really did pay off. Because now it's kind of like it's just a normal thing. I don't even pop off. Okay, I did kind of pop off after a beta Shiro. Okay, I did kind of pop off, to be fair. Alright. No, why did I activate this guy? That was a bad idea. Okay, I'm fine though, but that was not a great idea. Not my best and brightest moment, I do admit. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to watch my streams. You know, I just do the streams. Sometimes I watch my VODs, but there has to be something to laying in bed watching this. It's such an interesting thing, because you will never experience what it's like being me and speaking to a microphone and playing the game. And I will never experience what it's like for you, watching the stream. You know, chatting. It's very interesting dynamic. That's why I once took a picture, like, with my phone while I was streaming. Because it's so interesting. I would love to see that from so many YouTubers, like a POV, you know? Like, what does the other side see while they create the things I watch? Not like a behind the scenes, because behind the scenes is usually like third person perspective. I mean, like, very close and first personal, you know? Alright. I have a dilemma? Oh, you have a dilemma. One of your friends never played Undertale, so you don't know if you want to buy him Undertale or Celeste. Honestly, I'd recommend getting him Celeste. Because, I think it's overall the better game. And it's much more fun to talk about with your friends. I feel like talking about Undertale with your friends after playing it isn't that interesting. Talking about Celeste after you and your friends played it is really interesting. You love doing that. Oh, do you remember that room? Oh, that was so good. Oh, do you remember Star Jump? Yeah, man. That was such a tough emotional moment. When she fell down to chapter 6. Okay. Also, probably because Celeste is kind of like a life-changing experience for me. It was definitely different after I played this game. I was like the perfect target audience for this. I was... Okay, not the perfect target audience. The perfect target audience is people with gender dysphoria, likely. But I was like a really depressed person. So, that's kind of like approaching the right direction. I always found this really interesting. Because, I mean, these days it's very well known that this is an allegory for you know, a trans person's experience. But before it was revealed, there was like a consensus theory. It was something people were talking about, but it was not by any means generally accepted. And at this point, it's taken for granted that it's like so obvious in the game. I always find that really interesting, because they don't know that in 2017 Celeste, you know, people would have argued with you about this. I mean, Maddie has explicitly stated that the message was supposed to be relatively broad and ambiguous, which is for the best. I think having it apply to the most people possible is good. You know, I found it relatable, and I never had gender dysphoria. Yo, good luck. Try to get the golden strawberry in chapter 3 today and failed. You will do it eventually, though. The chapter 3 is a tough one. It's such a difficulty spike for golden strawberries to go from 2 to 3. 1 and 2 are so much easier than 3. Yeah, that's like a completely different league. Maybe I'll get it eventually. What I like to do when grinding a golden berry is I like to mix it up and throw in a different golden berry while I do it. So it's like maybe you could try doing golden berry for like a few attempts on chapter 4 after you do chapter 3 for a while. You want to mix it up a little. And you can make progress in 2 levels simultaneously. It's pretty fun. I mean, both A and B are really tough, though. I think 3B is probably the third hardest Golden Berry. Like, 3B is probably the third hardest. I also find Chapter 4A to be easier than 3A. Chapter 3 is just a really hard chapter in general. You did beat the Seaside chapter. Yeah, but the Seasides for Golden Berries are kind of like gimmies. Because it's only 3 rooms. That are, like, really long. But when you've beaten the level, you've kind of gotten good at all 3 anyways. So, you know. By the way, this death doesn't count, chat. This one's mandatory. You know, just wanted to let you know. If you're carrying a Golden Berry, you do not die here. This does not count as a death on the title screen. No, without the Golden Berry. Oh. Oh. Well, I mean, it's basically the same. 3C, yeah, that all the chapter 3 related things, beating them always feels so satisfying. Because the challenge, it feels so strange. Because of the cycle-based things, it feels like you're finally free from the cycles. You know, you're free from, like, nodding your head along to the movements of the dust bunnies. Alright, let's see if I beat chapter 5 this time. I've gotten really close today. So that obviously means that I must beat it today, you know. It means that the fruit is ripe for picking. You died 449 times in 3C. Yeah, it always feels so silly to die so many times in a Seaside because it's only 3 rooms, but the 3 rooms are pretty fuck-ass hard. That's the thing with the Seasides always, you know? The death count always seems like so unreasonably high for the fact... Man, it was only like 3 rooms, you know? When you play the level itself with the Golden Berry and you do everything first try, it takes like 3 minutes to finish. For goals, we recommend learning the last checkpoint, then going back to the checkpoint before and learning to beat the chapter from there. And repeating until you beat the whole chapter. My Golden Berry strat was a bad one that you should not replicate. My Golden Berry strat is throw yourself at it until you beat it. That was a really tough death. That was really stupid. Well, anyways, chat. Maybe we'll do a little bit more talking before I end the stream. I gotta plug all my shit. But I hope you enjoyed the stream. This was a really good stream. This was probably the best stream. Actually, I think it's like the second highest performing stream on this channel. I think there's probably a new Super Mario Bros. Stream that did better. But wait, let's play some Osugura Nandes music. All right, so. I certainly hope you enjoyed this experience. I definitely did. It was a great time talking to everyone in chat and having everyone cheer for you. I definitely broke a lot of people's hearts. Be sure to leave a like, you know. Be sure to leave a like. It does actually help the VOD get discovered. And, you know, some of those people like watching the VODs. That's actually most of the reason why I went to YouTube instead of Twitch. I used to stream on Twitch. I really just like the VOD system. If you want, join my Discord server. I announce when I stream and what I'm gonna stream. Sometimes I even let you vote. You know, it's kind of fun. And with all that said, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Let's see. I had a great time today. With all that said, the name has been Mycromator. Take care. And bye. See ya.